Hey, trombone players, now that we've got the water covering up the trombone slide, you see a little bit of sudsy bubbles here indicating that I have my cleaner in the water. I'm going to apply something that I stole from Trummy Young. I learned this on the trombone list back in about 1990. Back in the day, when Trummy Young was on the road with the great big bands, he would find at every hotel they would stay at while they're on the road a basin or a bathtub, and he'd do the procedure I'm going to show you right here. When I'm on the road these days, or if I'm out at a gig, I get all kinds of crazy looks because sometimes I do this outside of a Starbucks with a cup of hot water, but that's for another day. If you see me on a gig, ask me, I'll show you. So here's the trick. Again, just like we talked about with our snake, the key is we want it to be submerged. Otherwise, it's not going to do a lot of good. So we gently unlock our slide, and be very careful here, especially if you're a younger player. Get your mom or dad to help you out the first time. We want to be very careful here because the trombone slide, again, is very fragile. We're going to take our finger and we're going to plug one side, and you're going to take the other end and literally just pull it back and forth. And the first few times you do this, you want to be careful because it's going to suck in water, it's going to shoot it out. And while this is a lot of fun, mom and dad or the person who owns your apartment may not appreciate that. So you want to be careful here. Don't make a huge mess because you're the one that's going to be cleaning it up. So we would suck it in and out, back and forth, and this is just going to work in that water nice and good. Other side now. I usually do this for maybe 10 to 30 seconds on each side. Now, what do we do with our snake? Remember we talked a little earlier about sizes of snakes. This here happens to be a trumpet snake. You can see it's a little shorter. The trombone one goes maybe about another foot to a foot and a half. So I take my snake and I make sure I do this all underwater. And basically, I'm going to do it like I'm brushing my teeth, but I want to scrub maybe a 2 to 3 inch section at a time. So maybe only about this far with each thing, and I'm slowly going to work it further down the slide. So I start out with the inner slide inside the outer slide, and the main place you want to hit right here is the lead pipe, because that's where everything you're blowing is going in. So head on down, back and forth, maybe 5-6 times, stick it in a little further, another 3 to 4 inch section, and a little more. Now, I hit a point where it comfortably stops. You want to be really careful here, trombone players, because with the tuning slide, with the spit valve and everything down here at the end, you want to just be gentle because you don't want to do anything nasty to your slide tubes. Again, a few inches at a time, all the way down to the end, and we're going to assume we spent a little more time on that. Pull out the inner slide and very, very, very gently set it down. And even though it's redundant, I'll often repeat the procedure up before, but if you're a younger player, you may want to skip this part. But I gently put my hand over here so the slide tubes are off the bottom of the bathtub. And I'll do the same thing. However, again, if you're a younger player, you might want to skip that because if these guys get tweaked, you're in a world of pain. So I just do the same thing now with my outer slide tubes. Same process, 3 inches at a time, until it comfortably stops. The idea is not to get it all the way around the slide. It's to get it here to the crook and just a few inches over. And once everything's done, you want to let the water out. You want to rinse everything out with clean, warm water. Rinse it out 3 or 4 times, get it nice and good. And then you can maybe lightly towel dry it or just set it out to air dry while you finish with your bell.